Imagine getting 4 months of your life back every single year. Not by making more money, not by changing your lifestyle, but by changing how you pay taxes. The average entrepreneur works 124 days a year just to cover taxes. That's 124 days of freedom gone before you see a dime for yourself. But with one shift in strategy, you can get that time back and keep the income too. The only question is, why isn't everyone doing this? How is it possible that we're working 124 days a year just to pay taxes? Good question. I've asked myself that ever since I learned this 40 years ago, that we're spending so much of our lives working just to pay taxes. Most people are paying anywhere from 30 to 50% of their income in taxes. That's up to a third of your working year gone. So what's the tax strategy that gives those days back, and how does it actually work? First of all, it's not a loophole. I don't like loopholes. It's a policy. It's a governmental policy intended for you to use. The government gives tax breaks when you follow their economic incentives. They want you to use these incentives. If they didn't, they wouldn't put them in there. They don't want just some people to use them. They'd like everyone to use them. Specifically, they would like entrepreneurs to use them. Why? Because entrepreneurs are the building blocks of society. Entrepreneurs are the reason we have technology. They're the reason we have jobs. They're the reason that we have energy. They're the reason, frankly, we have food. Farmers are some of the greatest entrepreneurs in the world. So if you want to keep more cash in your pocket over the next 30 days without changing your business or working more, I've put together a free guide that shows you how. These are simple tax strategies I use with clients every single day, and they can put real money back in your bank account fast. But here's the thing, we're only giving away 50 free copies. After that, it's gone. So if you want it, don't wait. Click the link below to download your copy right now. What would I do with an extra 124 days back every year? Think about that. Would you use it to grow your business? Would you use it to create new products, new opportunities for you and your employees? Would you use it to build more customers? Maybe you just take those days off. Maybe you just have days that are free for you to use however you want. Maybe that's what you would have. Maybe that's what you want. Or maybe you just use them to build more wealth so that you could actually have a better lifestyle when you retire. Don't you want to have your freedom back? That's really what you're getting. 124 days that you're not giving to the government is 124 days of freedom that you have for yourself, either to use now or invest in the future. Think about why you bought gold in the first place. It wasn't just to have shiny metal sitting in a vault. It was for freedom, security, and long-term wealth. But here's the problem. Most gold just sits there. It doesn't grow. It doesn't pay you. And month after month, you're really no better off. Now, you're no worse off because gold tends to retain its value, but you're not better off. You're not adding ounces of gold. Monetary metals changes that. They make it possible to earn a real return paid in gold, so your ounces grow every single month. Imagine looking at your account and seeing more gold than you had the month before without adding a single dollar of capital. That's the dream. Owning an asset that protects your wealth and compounds it at the same time. So if you want your gold to do more than just sit still, go to monetary-metals.com/CPA and see how your ounces can finally start growing. That's monetary-metals.com/CPA. So here's a question. Why is it that employees pay more tax than entrepreneurs and investors? Interestingly enough, 80 years ago, they did not. 80 years ago, employees paid no tax. Since then, the government has learned that if they provide incentives to entrepreneurs and investors to actually create jobs, build real estate, develop energy, if they did these things, then they could actually fund the entire government just from the income taxes from the employees that these entrepreneurs have as their employees. Okay, the entrepreneurs' employees now are paying the taxes because the government shifted. They were very pro-employee in the early days of the income tax. Now they're very pro-investor entrepreneur. Why? Because they realize that nobody likes to pay taxes. And so a small incentive, a small tax incentive goes a long ways towards encouraging an entrepreneur to invest their money the way they want to. Now, why entrepreneurs? Well, because entrepreneurs are willing to invest their money that way, right? Employees, typically, they don't want the risk. They invest in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. They want less risk. They diversify their portfolio. They're more concerned about safety than growth. Entrepreneurs are all about growth. That's what we are. We love growth. We love getting better. We love improving. Okay. So the tax code rewards people who build the economy. It just does not reward those who earn a paycheck. Now, it's happy for you to put your money in your 401k because that actually goes in the stock market. They want the stock market to grow. That's pretty much the only way you're going to do it. Wouldn't it be better if you actually used the thousands of incentives the tax law has available to anyone? So anyone can be an entrepreneur. Anyone can be an investor. It's not just the rich. It's actually how they became wealthy in the first place. What my goal is in life is I do not work with ultra wealthy people. It's kind of boring, actually. I'm much more interested in the people who want to grow and build and develop, people who want to improve themselves and improve their customers and improve life for their employees, people who want to develop new products, new technology, new ways to grow food, new ways to build housing, new ways to help people in their daily lives. That's what I want to do. And you know what? The good news is I'm on the side of the government. The government wants to do that too. The government wants you to help develop real estate, develop energy, build the economy. So you've taken the first step by keeping more of your money, but the next step is protecting it. Because the moment you build wealth, you become a target. In this next video, I'll show you exactly how to protect your time, your business, and your wealth. Click the video on screen or down below, and I'll see you there.